All right, y'all. Today we gotta talk about Remy Ma. We're also diving into the situation involving Claressa Shields and her cousin Shelita Savage, because trust me, this story keeps getting messier by the day. And yes, we definitely have to get into Claressa herself because there's a lot happening around her name right now. Now, first off, let's start with Claressa Shields. So apparently, she was recently honored after one of the very first championship belts she won ended up being displayed inside a museum, you guys. And Claressa was super emotional and excited about the whole moment, right? But what really caught people's attention was the fact that she barely even remembered which exact belt she had donated for the exhibit. Then on top of that, she appeared alongside another male athlete where they were discussing their journeys, their grind, and everything that came with success. Meanwhile, Claressa kept circling back to reminding everybody how elite she is in boxing. But the other athlete was talking about everything except when her next fight is actually supposed to happen. And that's the part people are side-eyeing. Because hold on now, you flew all the way to the UK calling out Lauren Price, and now suddenly it's complete silence? I'm talking about crickets. You could literally hear a pin drop at this point. Like seriously, what are we doing here? So that situation is definitely raising some eyebrows online, all right? But moving right along, we also got to give a major congratulations to Remy Ma because her numbers are absolutely going crazy right now. Her engagement across social media and the Flying Lion record has been pulling massive attention, and the stats honestly speak for themselves. On her official YouTube channel alone, the song already crossed over 1 million views in barely a month, which is huge. Then, if you slide over to Instagram, the On the Radar performance posted on her page is sitting at over 8.2 million views. And when Remy was rocking that orange ginger look, one clip pulled 2.1 million views, while another crossed 1.1 on its own. Even the official reel she dropped for the single is touching multi-million territory. And this is exactly why I keep saying Remy Ma is the algorithm right now. Her and 50 Cent have consistently controlled the conversation through all this chaos and drama. It's not Claressa Shields dominating the moment, it's just not. And that's why every time Remy has something positive happening, somehow people suddenly find a way to insert themselves or try to redirect attention away from her shine. Then you've also got all this confusion surrounding the Win Records Network situation, which honestly looks like a complete disaster from the outside looking in. A whole hot mess if we're being real. But regardless of all that noise, I'm genuinely happy for Remy because the numbers are absolutely doing what they need to do. The views are climbing, the streams are streaming, and people are clearly tapped in. Y'all better still be running Yuff and Lion on your playlists because those records are hitting. Straight fire. The same way Shetayther had people talking too, all right? Now, next, we gotta get into this whole Shelita versus Claressa situation because, whew, this family drama has been escalating for a while now. As many of y'all already know, Claressa Shields and her cousin Shelita have reportedly been at odds for quite some time. These two are clearly not seeing eye to eye at all. There's been nonstop tension, sneak disses, and all kinds of shade. Being thrown back and forth between them publicly, Shelita has also built her own audience on Instagram and YouTube, and she's been speaking very openly about everything that's allegedly been happening behind the scenes. She's even linked up with multiple content creators for interviews where she spilled all kinds of tea, and you already know the internet ate that up. But what recently shocked people was the claim that Shelita was allegedly lured into an ambush involving a group of individuals. And according to the conversations online, this supposedly wasn't even the first time something like this had been hinted at. Apparently, a mutual person had already warned beforehand that there were talks about setting Shelita up and possibly trying to jump her. The first time around, she allegedly managed to avoid the situation completely and decided not to entertain it. But now people are saying things may have escalated to another level this time, and you already know social media is going crazy trying to piece everything together. You know what really had people talking? It was the fact that Shelita was allegedly standing out there by herself, while everybody else was moving with a whole crowd behind them. And the wild part is, her real issue was supposedly with Nigeria the Goat, who was once cool with Claressa Shields before their own fallout happened.
So now you've got layers of drama stacked on top of each other, and the internet is eating every bit of it up. But despite all the chaos, Shelita was reportedly not harmed, and nobody actually touched her. Although, according to what's being said online, somebody was allegedly hit by a vehicle during the situation. And I'm sitting here like, hold on, what are we even doing right now? Because things should never be getting that out of control over personal beef. It is never that deep to allegedly run people over or let anger push things to that level. Seriously, where is the logic? Like, if there was really a problem, why not just approach Shelita directly and have the conversation one-on-one instead of all this extra drama? That's the part I can't respect. I'm never really here for that group mentality, where one person has an issue but suddenly 10 people show up trying to press somebody together. Because a lot of times people feel tougher when they've got backup standing beside them. Meanwhile, Shelita was allegedly standing there basically daring somebody to make the first move, because she already knew the second somebody crossed that line, they'd immediately look like the aggressor. And from the clips and screenshots floating around, she appeared to be standing on her own side, keeping her distance and not really moving toward anybody. Now this is where things get even messier, because Shelita later jumped on Instagram and posted a message that immediately got everybody talking. The caption basically said she laid down in the street and told people to come get her, while accusing certain individuals of acting tough only when reinforcements were around. She also claimed people were calling family members and even reaching out to Claressa to allegedly step in on their behalf once the pressure got real. Then she threw even more shade by saying folks didn't listen when she warned them nobody could save them from themselves. And whew, when she added "orange is your new black" along with "don't drop the soap," social media instantly exploded. She followed it up with hashtags like "I am the savage," "Remy Savage," "Real Cousins," and even tagged Claressa Shields directly, which only added more fuel to the fire. The post was shared just a day ago alongside the image people connected to the moment Shelita previously described, where she allegedly laid in the road while everybody stood around watching. Apparently, there was supposed to be footage from Nigeria the Goat showing the situation, but for whatever reason, people say it was never fully shown online. And of course, the comments immediately turned into a battlefield after fans noticed Remy Ma had liked the post. One commenter even said Remy liking it had them gagged and compared Shelita's energy to Kendrick-level chaos, while also claiming Claressa's behavior could end up being her own downfall. Another person accused people of allegedly trying to bait Shelita into losing her freedom while clowning the entire situation with laughing emojis. Then somebody else jumped in, denying anybody was actually getting locked up, but Shelita reportedly fired back, saying somebody was definitely going to jail. And once fans saw Remy's name attached to the post, they completely lost it online. Now, as for Remy, people already know she's never really been somebody the internet views as scary with her words alone. Fans constantly bring up how fearless Remy Ma is whenever drama starts heating up. And let's be honest, people still remember how lethal she can get on a diss record when she really locks in. That's why supporters keep saying folks underestimate her way too much, because if somebody can verbally tear you apart on a track, people assume they probably don't scare easily in real life either. And that's exactly why some fans keep questioning why Claressa continues entertaining this tension publicly. And that's exactly why people keep saying Claressa Shields needs to stop poking at Remy Ma, because at some point you are literally inviting chaos into your life. Every time tension dies down, somehow another jab, another slick comment, or another situation pops up, and people are starting to notice the pattern. And trust me, that type of energy usually does not end well for anybody involved. But what really stands out to me is the fact that Remy clearly sees everything that's happening behind the scenes. She's watching how unpredictable and emotional Claressa allegedly comes across online, and people feel like the obsession keeps escalating further and further. There are even accusations floating around claiming Claressa was allegedly willing to involve family members in a drama connected to one of Remy's friends, which is why social media has been treating this situation so seriously. Because at that point, people stop looking at it like regular internet shade and start seeing it as something deeper. According to the conversations online, this alleged ambush and setup involving Shelita was supposedly meant to intimidate her into silence. The belief is that the pressure campaign was designed to stop Shelita from continuing to speak publicly about her experiences and whatever information she claims to know. And let's be honest, people are convinced there's still more tea sitting in the vault that hasn't even hit the internet yet, especially regarding all the alleged issues connected to Nigeria the goat and the fallout that's been brewing behind the scenes. Even the details already exposed have been messy enough to keep blogs and comment sections in overdrive for weeks. But once fans saw Remy Ma like that post, a lot of people immediately stopped viewing Claressa as some innocent victim in all of this. Instead, social media started painting Claressa as somebody who talks tough publicly, but allegedly moves very differently once direct pressure shows up. Fans even started bringing back old stories involving the moment Remy reportedly confronted the situation after Papoose allegedly fell asleep on the phone while still at Remy's home. According to the story that's been repeated online, people claim Claressa allegedly ended the call quickly the second she heard Remy's voice enter the conversation. And whether people believe every detail or not, that narrative has definitely stuck across social media. But honestly, it's wild that things have even escalated this far to begin with. A lot of viewers feel this all traces back to the attempt to present Claressa and Papoose as some new untouchable celebrity power couple. The problem is, people online just don't seem fully convinced by the image being pushed. The audience isn't really buying into it the way some expected, and no matter how things play out publicly, many fans still mainly associate Papoose with Remy Ma because that's the relationship people spent years invested in emotionally. That brand of loyalty, black love, and ride-or-die partnership was marketed heavily for a very long time. Fans remember all the emotional moments, the interviews, the reality TV clips, and the constant praise about how Papoose supposedly held Remy down through everything. If you go back and read old comments from their love and hip-hop days, people were practically calling him the definition of a perfect husband. Folks used to joke asking where they could find a Papoose prayer because the image looked solid online. But now, a lot of supporters feel fooled after hearing all these newer accusations and alleged behind-the-scenes stories surface. People are starting to say maybe the quiet image fooled everybody for years, because sometimes the person who says the least publicly is still allegedly causing the most chaos privately. And that's why many viewers are no longer shocked when Remy appears to support posts criticizing the entire situation. At the end of the day, fans believe Remy liking that post showed she allegedly saw the setup attempt against Shelita for exactly what people online are claiming it was. According to internet speculation, some believe the entire situation may have been orchestrated in hopes that Shelita would back down or stop talking publicly altogether. Instead, the situation allegedly created even more legal and public attention around the people involved, which only made things messier. And if any laws were actually crossed during the incident, people online are convinced consequences could eventually follow. But this is what happens, according to critics, when emotions, jealousy, and messy relationships start spiraling out of control publicly. Boundaries disappear, logic disappears, and suddenly people start making reckless decisions just to protect a position or relationship that they're desperate to hold on to. Meanwhile, when it comes to Papoose, many viewers say they don't fully sympathize with him either because they feel he allowed the entire situation to become more toxic than it ever needed to be. Some people even argue that at a certain point, he should have recognized how much tension and negativity was building around both Remy and their family. But critics online think bitterness and unresolved feelings may still be clouding everybody's judgment in this situation, and honestly, that's why this whole saga keeps getting darker every single week.